Hello and welcome. This is Africa in 10 minutes, where we bring to you trending business news from around the continent this week, courtesy Footprint to Africa. My name is Mike Messikenoa. It's great to have you on the show. Let's take a look at the highlights for this week. Ghana Parliament ratifies solar agreement to tap into $10 billion facility. Bank of Uganda cuts lending rates to 9.5%, lowest in 6 years. The EU injects $7 million into Zimbabwe's agricultural sector. And this is the news in details. The Parliament of Ghana has ratified a renewable energy framework agreement to become a member of the International Solar Alliance (ISA) spearheaded by India. The agreement, which was ratified by Parliament on the 4th of October, Wednesday, will see the country benefit from a $10 billion renewable energy loan facility from India. The ISA, meant for countries located in the tropics, comes at no financial burden to Ghana. Energy Minister Boake Agyako, speaking after lawmakers had approved the agreement in Accra, said the country's seat of government as well as the parliament will be first to benefit from the deal. Uganda's apex bank, Bank of Uganda, has reduced the central bank rate CBR from 10 to 9.5% in a bid to stimulate the economy and boost private sector lending. The reduction is the lowest Uganda has seen since mid-2011 and signals intent on the part of government and economic policy makers to stimulate the country's economy by targeting stabilization of the market using short-term interest rates. Given that the annual inflation forecast is to remain around the medium-term target of 5% and economic activity is slowly gaining momentum, a cautious easing of monetary policy is warranted to boost private sector credit growth and to strengthen the economic growth momentum, the central bank governor, Mr. Emmanuel Tumisemi Mutebile, said. Zimbabwe's agricultural sector is set to receive a significant financial boost after the EU agreed to inject $7 million into the sector. The fund is expected to aid in the revitalization of the industry, which has seen yields dwindle consistently since President Mugabe forcefully seized farmlands from white farmers and handed them over to former liberation war fighters. Service provision to the agricultural sector has eroded over time and is largely ineffective and inefficient in supporting value chain development and rural development in an agricultural and farming landscape that has significantly changed, said the EU. South Africa's University of Witwatersrand, WITS, says it's dropping KPMG as its auditor after a scandal about the firm's work for businessmen friends of President Jacob Zuma, it said on Wednesday. It was agreed that KPMG had not been sufficiently transparent and that it's hard to reconcile KPMG's conclusion that no one did anything illegal when senior individuals have been dismissed, said Vice Chancellor Adam Habib in a statement released by the university. Similarly, the African arm of Germany's Munich Re's Insurance, Munich Re, has dropped KPMG as its auditor, the latest company to cut ties with the accountancy firm. Management of Ethiopian Airlines Group, the largest airline in Africa, has fully digitalized all its business processes such as aircraft maintenance and flight operations, commercial operations, and also finance. Others are human resource management, customer services, procurement and supply chain management, online learning management approvals, and also authorizations. A statement issued in Accra, signed by Anna Atnafu, manager, corporate communications, Ethiopian Airlines, said that the initiative would remove paper from the entire system. The statement quoted Tewold Gebremariam, Group CEO, Ethiopian Airlines, as saying, Now, although we started the digitization project in the last few years, today marks an important milestone in our history as we are removing paper from our entire business processes. Now, following an official request for support from the government of Guinea-Bissau, the African Legal Support Facility ALSF has provided credit to litigation support and advisory services to Guinea-Bissau during outstanding debt negotiations with the Export-Import Bank of China, Exim Bank. The support led to a series of settlement and debt restructuring negotiations concluded in Singapore. Guinea-Bissau and Exim Bank agreed to a 90% reduction in outstanding debt obligations, resulting in savings of over $45 million for Guinea-Bissau. The US has agreed to increase its imports of Nigerian crude by 32.1% to 52.36 million barrels in the first half of the year, spending a total of $2.7 billion on oil imports from Nigeria during the period. The U.S. Energy Information Administration, the statistical arm of the Energy Department, revealed in its latest data that the country brought a record 10.24 million barrels from Nigeria in March, the highest monthly import since July 2013. It imported 9.7 million barrels in January, 5.96 million barrels in February, 9.16 million barrels in April, 8.69 million barrels in May, and 8.53 million barrels in June. Airtel Uganda has launched a 4G LTE mobile telecommunications technology. The upgrade to 4G LTE comes with a significant countrywide investment made by Airtel Uganda in setting up 404 LTE sites in Kampala and 126 sites upcountry. The 4G LTE network will enable the telecom company to offer its subscribers around the country the fastest available speeds, as well as an improved experience in internet-based activities such as video conferencing, mobile web access, amongst others. And on that note, we draw the curtains on this week's episode of Africa in 10 minutes. Let's take a recap of the stories. Ghana Parliament ratifies solar agreement to tap into $10 billion facility. Bank of Uganda cuts lending rates to 9.5%, the lowest in 6 years. The European Union injects $7 million into Zimbabwe's agricultural sector. And in South Africa, KPMG woes continues as more organizations dump the audit firm. Ethiopian Airlines goes completely digital. Guinea-Bissau reduces outstanding debts with China's Exim Bank by 90%. US spends $2.7 billion on Nigerian crude in 6 months. And finally, Airtel Uganda launches 4G LTE telecommunications technology. You can send in questions, make comments, and keep up with the news on our various social media channels. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our page on Facebook, and you can also follow us on Twitter. Connect with us also on LinkedIn. Visit us on our website at www.footprint2africa, where the stories were called from.